Howdy, we're in Florida now. Where exactly in Florida are we?
We are in Seffner, Florida.
And what's the library called? We're in a library.
We are in the Seffner Mango Library.
They have a huge sale here. I guess it's periodical and it's super cheap, like below $1. I think hardbacks are 50 cents.
Hardbacks are $1, paperbacks are 50 cents.
Wow, yeah. I'm sorry, so we're here with, what's your name?
Theresa Gilmartin.
How old are you?
I am 55.
Nice. What books do you like to read?
I like to read the Bible, of course, my favorite book. Really anything. I like to read periodicals. I like to read biographies, romance, just really whatever catches my eye.
Nice. Whoops, I'm getting a call. Do you think you might buy anything today?
I have a huge box out there waiting on me to purchase, actually.
Oh, nice. You said you worked in, you mentioned you worked in the corporate world. What did you do?
Well, I did many things throughout my career. I started out actually in hairdressing in the beginning, had an accident which made me give up that, and I worked as an HR manager for many years.
Oh, nice. So you would be in the HR department and all the conflicts and stuff, the drama would come through you?
Yes, I did that, and also worked after I moved here and was not able to find a job in that field. I worked as just, basic secretarial type work and assistant type work as well.
Nice. Did you ever need to get coffee as a secretary? Is that a thing that
No, I did not.
Okay, yeah.
That is just a thing. No, I was always above that. Actually, I had people that got me coffee.
Oh, nice. Well, there you go. And let's see here. What's your favorite topic to read about, I guess? What are your what's your favorite book?
Oh, well, the Bible's my favorite.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot.
My favorite topic is crafting. I love crafting and cooking, so I'm always reading cookbooks and crafting, so.
And so, like, you buy because I always see those everywhere, the cookbooks, and so people are actually, like, making recipes from that?
Oh, yes, and you look in my box out there, you'll find some.
And has it been, like, have you ever, like, made a meal from a cookbook, and, like, your family are like, oh, this is amazing, and you love it too, and...
Oh, yes, if you talk to my husband, he would tell you I'm one of the few people that use the cookbooks I have, which is probably 500.
Wow. How long have you been in Florida?
11 years.
And where did you move from?
I moved from Ohio via Kentucky.
Wow, nice. There's this stereotype, and I always bring up this question in all the southern states that I've been here. There's a stereotype that the South is racist and stuff like that. What do you think about that?
It is not. Honestly, I've not found that. I've been here, like I said, for 11 years, and it's not. I've been with many groups, and I'm with a Christian motorcycle group, actually, and we've worked with a lot of people, been around a lot of people. Like I said, I've worked in the corporate world. I've not had that.
Nice. What do you think is, like, the secret to marriage? Are you married?
Oh, yes, I am. The secret to marriage is putting your husband first. And, God actually should come first, then your husband second, and your family comes after that.
Nice. Another question that I always ask, what's the meaning of life?
The meaning of life is, of course, putting God first, lots of prayer, and just taking things as they come, putting God first, and just, if you have a problem, just lay it at God's feet and take it as it comes.
Nice. What do you like about Florida?
The heat.
Really?
Absolutely. Actually, I had to move here for medical reasons. I couldn't take the cold anymore, so I had to come here where it was warm. I love it. I love the people, the warmth of the people. You never meet a stranger in Florida, actually.
I've noticed, one thing that I have noticed being in Florida, the driving is insane.
Obviously, you've never been in New York.
Oh, right. No, yeah.
Chicago.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's even crazier. But why do you think it's so crazy here, like, driving-wise?
I don't know. I guess maybe they didn't have driving school. I don't know. Everybody's in a hurry. I really don't know.
And let's see here. You mentioned a terminal illness.
Yes. My husband was just recently diagnosed with IPF, which is pulmonary fibrosis.
which one's that one? Just
His lungs are deteriorating, basically. It is a terminal disease. What it is it takes over the lungs. He has, I guess, fibroids throughout the lungs. It's over time, it basically will take over his ability to breathe. And we have thought over the past couple of years it was his heart, because he'd had a heart condition and had to have a quadruple bypass in 2015. And so we've been blaming on it, and we just recently found out it was his lungs instead. So he goes next week for be evaluated with the lung transplant team, which he will get on. We have faith in that. God's got this. We've got this. So I will have a bionic man before we're over with. This will have a new man. This is number 3. It'll be heart, hips, lungs.
is there like well, yeah, bionic man, yeah.
We're almost there.
Is there sort of a scripture that really stood out to you and brought you hope in these times, or is it all good? Or
Oh, there's many scriptures. I just can't think of any at the moment. There's just so many that just jumbles through my head.
Yeah, you can't think of it on the spot. Never
exactly. But the Lord is my shepherd. That's always John 3:16. That's always the one that always comes to me at any time.
So, sort of shifting, the Florida voted for Trump. Went Trump. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, we did.
And what do you think about that?
Well, obviously, we knew what we were doing.
Yeah, and I spoke with another gentleman in Tampa, and he was a retiree, a Jewish gentleman. It was at a Jewish film festival, and he loved Trump.
Yeah, there's a lot of us here that are Trump supporters, and I'm one of them as well.
Good. Yeah, I thank you. I mean, I don't like everything he did, but I liked his first year.
I'm the same. Yeah, like I said, there are things that we like and things we don't like, and it's the same with all presidents. But I just think those who do not like him, we supported Obama. I think they should do the same for Trump.
Let's see. Have you ever read like To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yes. Yes.
And what did you think about that?
It's been a very long time since I read it. Actually, high school, and I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, which you should be able to figure it out. But
do you what do you think of transubstantiation? Just a random topic.
I think everyone should. I think everyone should be helped. I think there's so many here. I just, actually, I've worked a lot with helping the people here, and I think that everyone should, there's so many, I'm sure you've been here and you've seen a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And I just think that there should be programs in place that should help as many as they can.
Nice.
Everyone needs a hand up.
Right, and you've been involved in helping, you said?
Yes. Yes.
How?
Well, at my former employee, we had a employee group that we gave money, and we went out and help fund different programs, and also my church, we do that as well.
Nice. And let's see here. So, let me think here. In high school, what would you say was your sort of clique? Were you in any cliques?
Not so much as a clique. I said I grew up on a farm. I was too busy farming. But I was in chorus and I did track, things like that. But as far as being in a clique, no, not really.
Do you miss the farmland?
I miss the farmland. I don't miss the farming. But, like I said, you can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl.
And what do you want to impart to your kids?
I just always tell them, you always value life. You take, one day at a time. Never take anything for granted.
What what do you think your husband's illness? How do you think that will affect your family?
Well, like I said, this is number 3 for him, and I've had several myself. And everyone we come out stronger, closer and stronger.
It's like that. Reminds me of that when they asked Jesus, they were like, "Hey, why was the man born blind? Did his parents sin, or did he sin in the womb?" And he was like, "Well, neither of them sinned."
Exactly.
It's the trials we go through is to manifest the power of God in the healing process.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like I said, no one, everyone, like people will come up with something or have an illness and they say, "Why me, God?" And us, it's more like, just another trial, just to prove, to us it's kind of a thing to let people around us see, us as Christians, what we go through and how we handle things, and they can see us and see how we are. Maybe they learn from us.
Excellent. And where were we again? What's the city again?
Oh, Seffner, Florida.
Seffner. All right. Well, you heard it here first, straight from Seffner, Florida. Signing out. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay, so we're. Could you just repeat everything you just said?
Sure.
Because I do want it in this.
Okay, sure. I was just saying that I have been involved with programs where we carry packets and gift pouches in our cars and vehicles, that when we see someone homeless, we will give it to them as a gift of love, because, there are times we don't know what's going to happen. And I've actually met people who were once in the corporate world, had good jobs, good homes, families, and we just don't know that someday something could happen. It could be us in that situation. And I would hope that someone would do the same for me.
The person in the corporate world, what do you think led to their becoming home?
Layoffs, illness. You just don't know. They might have lost their family and just went over, the deep end. You just don't know.
And what do you? So you never found out what happened?
No.
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 You had to ask.
Drugs could be, lots of things could happen.
And the what would be in these little packets that you would give the homeless?
Oh, socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, just general necessities, or gift cards for food, just general necessities, things that they would need.
Nice. And were they usually grateful? Were there any ungrateful homeless people?
Occasionally, I have actually run into people who were not legit.
Right.
And have seen it firsthand.
Yeah, I've seen it too. They ask you this question. I'm stuck in between and you hear it and you're like, oh, I'll give. But then another guy comes with the same exact story.
Mm-hmm. I've actually witnessed firsthand people who would have told me that the reason why they do it is because they make more money than me panhandling. Get in a new car and drive to a new home because they make thousands of dollars a week. It's wrong.
Yeah. In Boulder, it was Boulder. God, still with the Boulder thing. In Denver, Colorado, I actually I saw a homeless guy counting money. Mm-hmm. Had a wad of money. Mm-hmm. From dealing drugs, probably. I don't know.
I know. I've had, people come to me before and said they needed gas to get places or what have you. And the way I would handle that is say, well, I'll bring you gas. I would never give them cash. We'll give you what you need, but we won't hand you the cash, which is how you would usually handle it.
And a lot of times, people badmouth the churches, the Catholic Church always gets bashed, and all these religions for not helping people. And it's from me personally, my view is that they are helping a ton of people.
Oh, believe me, they do. They help more than they should.
The people who complain usually don't like help nearly as much as like civilization has been lifted so much by so many churches that I even disagree with. But
Exactly. Like I said, my old church that I went to in Cincinnati, that's all they did. Actually, we had a place there called Mercy Works that was just about giving back. I mean, they actually had a place there you could go there and get a job, get clothes, get food, get your car worked on for free. They had even had a list you could go in and get a free vehicle if you needed. I mean, just anything you could possibly want. You just had to have the need. But, of course, you had to prove that you needed it. But, of course, there are people that come in there mad because we didn't believe them. But, you just had to have the need.
well, anything else? Anything? Alrighty. Well, you heard it here first. Signing out. Signing out again. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.